Hello everyone, my name is Adilene Bobadilla and I'm a college facilitator. Today we will be having a webinar on how to create a resume. You might be asking you, what is the purpose of a resume? Resumes can be used for various things, but its primary purpose is to obtain an interview. It should be a clear, accurate, and short document that outlines your career objectives, education, skills, accomplishments, and work experience. It should be a summary of qualifications, a quick picture of your skills and abilities. When looking into resumes, there's different types of resumes. There's functional resume, combination resume, and chronological resume. This is the one that we'll be focusing on today. This type of resume is the most commonly used and outlines your past work experience in chronological order. It is most effective when your work experience relates directly to the job description. Work experience is listed in reverse chronological order, accompanied by most recent first by a brief description of the duties performed in each position. This resume type is most frequently used by individuals with several years of experience in a single career field. When looking into the example, you can see under work experience how she was a bagger in 2014 and then a babysitter in 2010. So this is what chronological resume looks like. And this is where the fun will begin. We will now be going over the components of a resume. It should have a heading, summary of qualification, experience, education, skills, honors and awards, campus awards, and relevant coursework. We will now be going over each of these items in detail in the following slides. Under heading, you need to make sure you include your name, address, email, and phone number. The next section is optional, and this is the summary of qualifications. It's a quick summary of skills and personality traits that are relevant to the job. Make sure you do no more than 3 or 5 points. An example of a summary of qualification is hardworking, mature individual, works well independently and in groups, experience in Microsoft Office and Photoshop, bilingual, and biliterate. Look at the job description and make sure to add requirements that you meet. Another thing you need to remember is always start with action verbs. When writing your resume, make sure you use action verbs when describing your duties. And just in case you do not remember what an action verb is, an action verb is a verb that expresses physical or mental action. The action verb tells us what the subject of our clause or sentence is doing physically or mentally. An example of this would be recruited students for a field trip, collaborated with teammates to plan a school carnival. Our next section would be experience, work, or volunteer. Always remember to put your most recent job or volunteer work first, because this is what chronological resume is. So always make sure you put your job title, meaning your position, the company name or organization, the city and state, dates of employment or volunteer work, and a brief description of duties performed. An example would be work experience, youth advisor for Watch, Watsonville, California, June through October of 2010. The brief description of duties would be recruited companies to participate in an annual conference, promoted events, updated and maintained database, educated peers regarding environmental issues. Our next component is education. Include high school and special programs. If you are part of EAOP, Gear Up, ETS, and Upper Bound, make sure you include these programs in your resume. Also, include classes that are AP, classes that you took in community college, or any summer programs. Example of this would be from 2010 to 2014, attended King City High School, earned a high school diploma, and was an honor student. On to our next component, skills. Include technical skills and level. Do not include things you would not be using in a job. Example, computer skills, proficient in Microsoft Office, language skills, excellent Spanish, written, and verbal. Hang in there, we're almost there. Our next section is honors and awards. Include any awards and honors. If including honor roll, just list it once. By this I mean honor roll student, Seaside High School from 2008 to 2010. Instead of listing every year, you just combine them all. Our next section is campus activities. Considering joining clubs, take leadership positions in those clubs. Position, club organization, and years involved. Example of this would be Vice President of the Peer Mentor Program, Early Academic Outreach Program, EAOP at Pajaro Valley High School from 2013 to 2017. We are now in the last and final step of building a resume. Relevant coursework. This is optional, but you should only include courses relevant to the job you're applying. Example of some relevant courses would be restaurant management or business management. There might be others depending on the school that you attended. And before you leave and start doing your resume, here are some final tips. Research your potential employer. Use the same language that is used in their job description, and emphasize those experiences related to the job description. Good luck with your job search, and thank you for joining this webinar again.